Hi there, Dr. Sheila here with Allison McNeil, my colleague in EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, tapping for short. Today we're out here at the mansion and we're going to actually do some tapping on a particular issue that we have, and I'm actually going to let Allison take the lead today and tap on an issue that I have, I guess.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Sure.
So maybe we should tap on frustration.
Okay. So why don't you tell me about your frustration,
Yeah,
Sheila?
well, you know, it's interesting. I noticed it today because we've been out shooting all day, and we have had people that come along and walk right through the picture. Or I can see them coming out of the corner of my eye, so my eye automatically goes that way, so we have to cut. And normally, you know this, I'm very on top of doing the videotaping, and today it was like so laborious. And that's frustrating to me because then I lose my edge.
Right.
So, yeah, it was frustrating today, there's no question. And when I get frustrated, I can feel this kind of discomfort coming, and I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. It's just, and it's one of those moments where I think at one point you said you can quit glaring now because people are not going to move. But it's that whole thing for me. It is this frustration, and how do you deal with that?
Okay. So as we're sitting here right now, what level would you give your frustration from 0 to 10, where 10 is like you're going to lose it, and 0, like nothing is phasing you?
Since there are no other humans, animals, or children, dogs, cats, birds walking around, I'm good right now. So I'm probably sitting. It could happen at any moment. You're absolutely right.
Right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I would say it's probably sitting. I'll give it a 5.
A 5.
Because it was at an 8.
Now, would you say you're kind of anticipating a little bit more frustration coming? Like, are you worried that somebody else is going to come through the shot?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so where would this discomfort sit in your body?
It's an interesting question. If I had to say where in my body, I'm going to say my throat.
Okay. And tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, because I can't say to them what I really want to say to them. I don't think that would be good, really.
Okay. So that would be a good lead in to do some earlier work. But since we're dealing today with what we're dealing with today.
Yeah, let's just deal with the frustration today.
So, okay. So you ready?
Yeah.
So even though
I
have this frustration,
it's
sitting at a 5.
It's sitting at a 5.
I'm kind of laughing about it.
I am kind of laughing about it now.
Now, that's the key word.
Now.
Before, not so much.
Not so much before.
But it's sitting at a 5.
It's sitting at a 5.
Sitting in my throat.
Sitting in my throat, actually.
Yeah, but I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Yeah, even though I've got this frustration.
Even though I've got this frustration.
Because I couldn't tell people what I wanted to tell them.
Because I couldn't tell them exactly what I wanted to tell them.
I knew what I wanted to tell them.
I did know what I wanted to tell them. It's on the tip of my tongue, actually.
But I couldn't tell them.
But I couldn't tell them.
Yeah. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
So even though I have this frustration.
Even though I have this frustration.
And I'm still looking around to see if anybody's coming our way.
Yeah, I you know what? My eyes are darting around. I can feel it. Yeah, because I'm waiting for someone else to show up.
And I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself anyway.
So up to your eyebrow, this frustration.
This frustration.
Yeah. It was a long day.
Well, it was a long shoot for that second one.
Yeah. It was arduous. You said that.
It was arduous.
Today. Yeah, I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated.
It's sitting at a 5.
It's sitting at a 5.
Were you going to say something there?
Yeah, I was going to say it's everybody else was being so patient. I was not being patient.
I was not being patient.
I was not being patient.
Everyone else was being so patient.
Everybody else was being patient.
I was not being patient.
I was not being patient.
I was frustrated.
I was frustrated.
Because I couldn't say what I wanted to say.
Couldn't say what I wanted to say.
I was glaring at people.
I was glaring at people, apparently.
Well, we can check the video proof.
I checked the video, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was glaring at people.
I was glaring at people.
Took a long time to do the second shot.
Took a long time to do the second shot.
Yeah,
I didn't glare at the dogs. I thought the dogs were quite cute, actually.
Just the people, maybe?
Just the people with the dogs.
Just the people with the dogs.
People with the dogs. Oh, my goodness.
I was glaring at them.
Yeah, well, I was glaring at them. It didn't stop them.
No.
My glaring did not stop them.
So your glaring was not effective.
No, apparently not. I have
Frustrated by that?
I have not got an effective glare.
My glare is ineffective.
My glare is ineffective.
I knew what I wanted to say.
I knew what I wanted to say.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
But I held back.
But I held back.
But I wasn't patient like other people.
And then I wasn't patient like other people.
I was really frustrated.
And I was really frustrated, yeah.
What were you frustrated by?
I was worried that I was going to lose my focus.
Yeah, I was worried I was going to lose my focus, your train of thought, right?
My train of thought. Yeah. And I really wanted to get the shoot correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this frustration. That the shoot maybe wasn't going to go as well as it could have.
Well, and that, I was taking everybody's time.
Taking up everybody's time.
And people have been so generous with their time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I didn't want it to not work out. I wanted it to be done, and I wanted it to be a good wrap.
Yeah. You wanted it to be like a quality video, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be quality.
Yeah. So I was frustrated.
So I was frustrated.
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 You know what it was? It felt to me like people weren't respectful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then, when you think about that, maybe I wasn't being respectful of their place either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because where are we today?
We're in a public place. So it can go both ways.
It can go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, take a deep breath. And check in with your body. So we started, your frustration was at a 5. And you felt it kind of in your throat. Because you couldn't say what you wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, I think the realization that we were in a public place and other people had just as much right to be in this public place as I did kind of shifts it a bit to recognizing that, first of all, they, with the exception of the 3 people that asked what we were doing, after they were in the picture, I think people just assume that they're in their own world. And no amount of my glaring is going to change that.
Because your glaring was ineffective, right?
Apparently it was. I've got to really practice up on that glaring.
Maybe that could be part of the homework.
Yeah, part of the homework is practice your glare. Get an effective glare.
So what would you say about how your throat is feeling and what number you would put your frustration at?
Oh, I think I'm about a 2 now.
Yeah?
I think I'm calmer about it because I realize that it was a two-way street that I didn't get at the time.
So that's a great reframe, right? That's what
Yeah.
we're kind of always hoping for
Yeah.
when we do this kind of work.
Yeah, because in the moment you're in your own world, right? And
You're triggered a little bit, right?
well, and I was trying so hard to stay focused because I knew every time we had to stop shooting that I had to remember where we were so that we could
And
carry
start
on.
again, and
Yeah. So there is a piece here about almost sharing the space, which was kind of interesting and kind of good. And I would say too, this whole thing about the frustration, feeling that I was wasting other people's time. Nobody said anything. Nobody said, well, let's get, speed it up or anything else. So that's in my own head. Nobody actually voiced that. So that's another piece.
Yeah. Do you want to do a round to sort of set that reframe in, or
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sure.
even though
Even though
I was really frustrated,
I was really frustrated.
now I've kind of come to a few realizations.
Now I've come to a few realizations, sure.
Yeah, it's a two-way street in a public park.
It is a two-way street in a public park.
They had as much right to be here as I did.
Yes, unfortunately. They had as much right as I did to be
Well,
here.
still a little bit of something.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking that it would have been nice if we had been able to do it without all that
Interruption.
interruption.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
So even though I had some frustration today,
Even though I had some frustration today.
With people interrupting.
With people interrupting.
And being worried that I was wasting people's time.
And being worried that I was wasting people's time. I think that was more
That was more.
the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
So even though I experienced some frustration today,
Even though I experienced some frustration today.
I've had some relief from that frustration.
I've had some relief.
And some
Truly.
ahas.
And some ahas and some realizations.
Yeah. That everyone has a right to be in a public place.
Well, everyone has a right to be in a public place. And also that it's about sharing the
It's about
space.
sharing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
And not to worry about people wasting people's time unless they say so. Like, people have the ability to say so.
mhm. Absolutely they do. Right?
Is he going to say that now? No.
It's fine as long as you say it.
As long as I say it. Okay, good.
It's on your problem. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself anyway.
I was frustrated,
I was frustrated.
and I was kind of only seeing it from my point of view.
And I was only seeing it from my point of view.
But that's changed.
But that's changed.
That's shifted.
That's shifted.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
I don't need to be worried about what other people are thinking.
I don't need to be worried about what other people are thinking.
That doesn't mean I can't be worried if they say something.
Well, it doesn't mean I don't have to react
Yeah.
if they say something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it has to affect me.
Yeah, you don't need to react before anybody says anything.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's about sharing.
It's about sharing.
Today was certainly about sharing. Yeah.
Today was certainly about sharing.
Yeah, that's the work you're trying to do.
Yeah. And it was also about being able to get the work done.
Get the work done. Yeah. Did you get the work done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In really nice surroundings, I have to admit.
You got to see a couple of nice spots today.
Yeah, I got to see a couple nice spots today.
Had you been to either of them before?
Had been up to the park once,
Yeah.
but I've never been here.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
So that also, just as an aside, if I had been to the places, I may have known different sites in them where we could go, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. But all in all, a good day, actually. So thank
tell
you
me-
very much.
You're very welcome. Tell me about your frustration now. Give me a number. That's what I mean. Give me a number.
Give you a number. Maybe a 1, maybe a 2. It's not really prevalent.
What about before you mentioned like discomfort?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, in your throat?
No. No, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell us again sort of what your overall sense of the day is. Because for a while there it was like the frustration, right? Like all these people interrupting and asking us what we were doing.
no, I think, you know what? I think we got some really good stuff today. And I'm happy with the pieces that we shot. And I'm happy that we got to see such a gorgeous, gorgeous day.
It was really a beautiful
So,
day.
oh my gosh, it was just spectacular, and how grateful I am for that. And I'm grateful, you know, for you and for Brad and how the three of us work together really, really well. So you two were much calmer than I was about the whole thing. I was, you know, I'm the talent, so therefore I was the diva.
That's right.
So there you go. So that's who I was.
Playing to a stereotype.
Playing to a stereotype. That's what I was doing. Yeah. But no, I feel much better. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
It's good. Yeah, we should have done this about a half hour ago
Yeah.
when I was at the peak of my
Yeah.
frustration.
We do what we can.
Yeah, do what we can when we can. Yeah, perfect.
Everybody just wanted to get that thing finished up. Get that,
It's
that
true.
part finished up.
It's true. Man,
Well, thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, there you go. My frustration is minimized, and I've realized that I was pretty much the only one that was frustrated in this whole thing. But you know what's interesting about this is when you use EFT and you actually start to pay attention to the cues, that breakthrough happens, you know, that really and truly this was about a public place, and this was about sharing the space, and this was all about that kind of thing. So I hope this was helpful for you, and if you are frustrated, just tap along and play the video again. the one thing I would like to say about EFT, please make sure that when you're using EFT, that you're using it with somebody, or if you're not, that you practice it in a place that's very safe for you. This is Dr. Sheila and
Allison?
saying so long.